it's Sherry and welcome back to my kitchen. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys an awesome recipe on how to make jackfruit barbecue sliders. This recipe actually has been requested quite a few times, so I'm going to share it with you guys today. So let's get started. So we will be starting with our lime coleslaw. So I'm going to show you guys how to prepare the dressing for our coleslaw. And the first thing you're going to need is some mayo. So this is essentially 1/4 cup of mayo. You can use any mayo. If you're vegan, use vegan mayo. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And then you're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. If you're watching your sugar, you can add some honey or some maple syrup. You're going to add some salt and some pepper. Now keep in mind that you will need to taste your dressing just in case you need more salt and pepper. Until that, we're going to add some fresh lime juice. So I'm using about 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And the last thing we need to do is just mix that all together. And essentially, you just make coleslaw dressing. That simple. So what we need to do now is allow this to sit in the refrigerator just to really kind of cool just a little bit. Let me taste this for us. Yes, it tastes so good. You can taste the sweetness. It is very creamy. Okay. So I've allowed our dressing to sit in the refrigerator for about 10 or 15 minutes or so while I was chopping up our other vegetables. So we will be adding some apples. If you choose to use cabbage, you can use cabbage, but we will be using apples and also some carrots and red cabbage. I've also did this with adding some cilantro and some celery seed was really good too. So we just want it to be a little bit thinned out. And if you have a food processor, I would say use your food processor to shred up these vegetables. But I did everything by hand and it wasn't that bad. This recipe is for about 3 or 4. You can actually double it if you want to make it for a bigger family. So what we're going to do is just mix all of our ingredients now and just get everything marinated together and make sure that they love each other and everything is coated really good. And it's going to pair amazingly with our jackfruit sliders. So I'm going to actually put this coleslaw back in the refrigerator until we're done with our jackfruit sliders. So we're getting started with our barbecue jackfruit. So this is how the can looks. So I will be using canned jackfruit and it's the young jackfruit. If you wanted to use fresh jackfruit, you're more than welcome to do so. But this is a little bit more quicker to do. The fresh can take about 45 minutes to an hour to cook. And one thing that I've done to the jackfruit before it's in this bowl is I've rinsed it. So once it's out of the can, you want to make sure you rinse it and rinse the brine off. And now I'm just checking to see if it's any seeds in there. And if it's not, then I'm going to just put it right back into the thing. So you want to go through each piece to check for seeds. And there's one right there. So this is what the seed looks like. So you want to get that out of there. This is a little tougher. And as you're pretty much going through, there's another seed. As you're going through it, you just want to shred it and make it shred just kind of like meat would shred. So the jackfruit essentially is a tropical fruit and you can eat it raw or you can cook it, and it has the texture of pineapple almost. But when it's cooked, it has a more meatier texture. And it's very good for you in a good meal, and it's a good meat replacement. I know that a lot of my friends and the world is actually doing like meatless Mondays. So this is something that you can actually pop in any recipe to replace meat. So we've pretty much taken all of the seeds out. I also removed a little bit of the core pieces. Just take them out. You want everything to taste pretty much the same texture. So I have my pan now on about a medium heat, and I'm adding some olive oil. So now I'm about to add some diced onions, and you can use whatever onions you have in. So I used about a half of an onion, or either 1/4 cup of onion. And what I'm going to do is let this kind of saute up a little bit and just become translucent. And I'm also going to add some chopped garlic. And this is 2 cloves of chopped garlic. So we will be allowing these ingredients to go for about 3 or 4 minutes till they become translucent. You don't want them to totally like fry. We want to keep some of that flavor in there. So now it looks exactly how I want it to look. So we will be now adding the jackfruit. Okay, so now our jackfruit has been cooking for about, it's more closer to 15 minutes. And if you'll see, you'll notice that all of the liquid has evaporated out, and that's exactly what we want to see. And now we're going to add a couple more seasonings. So now we're going to add some barbecue sauce, and you can use any barbecue sauce. I'm using about a half of a cup of barbecue sauce. And then to that, I'm going to add some smoked paprika. And I'm just using 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. I'm using 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And then I'm just using 2 chipotle peppers. They're like canned peppers that are in adobo sauce. And what this is going to do is add a little bit of heat and smokiness to your pulled jackfruit. So you don't want to just use regular barbecue sauce. That just wouldn't be Sherry approved. So at this point, you're going to allow these ingredients now to marinate a little bit. I would say allow this to cook for another 5 to 10 minutes. And the longer that it kind of marinates together, the more intensified the taste will be. So our pulled barbecue jackfruit has been completed. And now we're about to, it looks amazing. It smells so good, guys. This is definitely a great substitution for meat. It looks like pork, but guess what? It's jackfruit. So we're about to make our sandwiches. So I have toasted some Hawaiian rolls. So we're gonna make some sliders. These are my favorite. But if you choose to use any other bread, probably try a brioche or something a little bit sweeter. Or a regular bun if you want to try it. But if you want to share your proof, go Hawaiian roll. And what we're going to do is we are going to add the jackfruit straight to the slider buns. And you will have some left over. This is about to make 4 sliders. So if you were making for a larger family, you should be able to get maybe about 8 sliders from just 1 can. Remember our lime coleslaw that we made? We're gonna add that onto there. That's enough there. And we're gonna add a couple slices of just red onion. And that's just a little bit of parsley. And we're just garnishing this. This is really just for color. Then we're gonna add this on there. It already looks cherry approved. I just want to take a bite just from there, but I'm not. I'm going to slice it into the sliders. This looks so good. The bun looks so buttery and amazing. So I'm going to taste this for us. But first, let me just show you this. It's happening. It's meatless, but you can't tell. It's so good. So I hope you guys check this recipe out. If you were to make it, make sure you tag me at my IG at Sherry Amore Kitchen, and check out my other recipes and watch out for the other jackfruit recipe that's coming up. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. So our pulled jackfruit has been completed. And now, I want to start over.
Yeah, because I...
Okay.